tell you what, the CIA goes a long way to set up some type of alter ego. Our next guest is a CIA operative who is pretending to be Howard Richards. I've noticed he doesn't look exactly like the Howard Richards who played football for Missouri and went on to become a first-round draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys, but he is pretending to be the color man for your Missouri Tigers. Good morning, Howard Richards, or the man who claims to be Howard Richards. Good morning, Howard.
Good morning, all. And let's just say this. Since this is No Shave November, you really would not recognize me now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't do No Shave November because by now they'd be like, I thought you weren't going to shave. And I'm like, I'm not. So not too many teams, Howard Richards, start off 1-5 and end up going to a bowl game. And that's exactly what can happen to your Tigers if they win this weekend.
It is within their grasp. This is the biggest game Missouri has played in 3 years since the SEC championship in 2014. My only concern is that this moment could get a little big for these young players. I mean, they're playing a lot of freshmen that have never been on this stage before. Sure, they played in big games in high school, but this is not high school. I mean, this is D1, FBS, SEC football. And I just hope that they can contain their emotions, realize that this is one step at a time. It's another football game, but this game does have meaning, and it's big for the program, and it is all in Missouri's hands. And I'm looking forward to what they're going to do on the field tomorrow.
How good is Vanderbilt?
They're struggling. They are a lot like Florida and Tennessee. They just, I think they've been a disappointment from the standpoint of what they've been able to accomplish. They started off with a 3-0 record, and it looked like they were going to do pretty well in the conference, but they've lost a bunch of football games, and it's as if they have, they don't have enough energy or momentum to get them over the hump. So again, it's Missouri's opportunity. When you see teams that are struggling, that are down, you've got to jump on them fast and just keep on the gas pedal.
What's been the biggest difference between the 1-5 start and the 4-0 since?
I truthfully believe it has been the younger players, the freshmen and sophomores that have stepped up. And you look at, especially on the defensive side of the ball, there are 5 or 6 freshmen, maybe even more, that are contributing and making plays. They've been more aggressive defensively, and that has really helped the offense. They've been able to get off the field and give the offense more chances to score. Offensively, we have played better, played much more consistently and relatively mistake-free football. But we've been able to make a number of explosive plays, and that is what has really knocked teams down. Plus, we're running the ball very effectively.
Yeah. What time's the game on Saturday?
It is a 6:30 p.m. kickoff.
So
here
it's
locally.
a 4:30 pregame here on the Big 550 KTRS, and then you have a quick turnaround, and you're playing Arkansas the day after Thanksgiving.
Exactly. We take off on Thanksgiving Day, so while you are sitting in your living room and dining room in front of your TVs eating that delicious, succulent turkey, we will be probably cooped up in some hotel eating turkey.
Eating bar food, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Having stale peanuts at the bar.
So think about it. Okay.
So, Howard Richards, we had Gary Pinkel on earlier in the week, and much more relaxed, much more interesting. College football coaches, they really need to take a breath and enjoy what they're going through, because when you talk to Gary Pinkel during the season, right, he doesn't want to talk to you. You ask him a question, why'd you throw it on 3rd down? He treats the question like you're asking about troop movements in Afghanistan. But he gets away from, the day-to-day grind, and he's a really interesting guy. I don't know why these football coaches don't allow themselves to sort of open up a little bit and show a little personality during the season.
I think it's a facet of just not being able to manage the stage. I mean, a lot of younger coaches, that's pretty much what you see, although, Gary Pinkel's a little bit older, but, the stress, everyone handles stress differently. And when there's pressure to win games that you haven't won and you haven't performed well, and also you've got people sometimes calling for your head. Gary Pinkel's last year, he went through a lot,
right,
with not just the football stuff, but also his health, battling cancer. And, now you look at him and he looks like a completely different person. I was with him on Monday night after his book signing, and he is much more relaxed. It's actually been fun to get to know him on this level, as opposed to, when he was still coaching. You just couldn't get near him.
Yeah, no, I guess it's sort of a nature of the beast, but because the idiots who are on social media who don't watch practice but clearly know more than the coach does. But it's just sort of a shame that for the rest of us who would like to follow the program, like to know the insights of the coach, one of the things you lose is that connection with the coach because they're so protective of their thoughts and feelings and comments, I guess.
And that's a good word. They are protective. They are protective because they think, someone's going to give away a secret or some piece of the game plan, some little bit of an advantage that, ultimately will cause their team to lose. So, I get it. I've been a part of it. I understand it. But yeah, if you're on the outside looking in, it would be much more interesting if you could at some point get these coaches to kind of connect more with their listeners.
Yeah.
Not an easy task. But blame it on the job.
That's the man who claims to be Howard Richards, and he'll be in the booth on Saturday as Missouri takes on Vandy down in Nashville. Have a good call, Howard. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks, guys.